ultimately non-judgmental, but at the beginning less judgment. The second one is how to work with emotion or emotional reaction, just to befriend with them. To do that, we get to know, we get to see our emotion. To see our emotion, we have to measure everything with pain, with discomfort. So we are going to sit still, and obviously you will feel discomfort, because usually every few minutes we move. That subconscious movement covers up our discomfort, and we think we don't feel discomfort. No, we do, and we don't have to feel bad about that. We just need to learn how to live with it. The last one is what I call part of positive thinking. A few aspects of positive thinking, but today I'm just going to focus on one thing. Something that Rick Hansen from Berkeley called this hardwiring happiness. That is, to connect with the sources of happiness in your life. In Pali, we call this mudita, which is to rejoice. Even to rejoice, the mind has to learn. We have to practice. This is happiness practice. The 3. Non-judgmental mindfulness, and getting to know our emotion. And the last one is learning how to be happy. The first one will be a very short session, 8 minutes. 8 minutes. We're going to be focusing on breathing. Breathing. As soon as you focus on breathing, this is not something the mind usually chooses to do. We are happy with distraction. The more distraction, the better. So we go to shopping malls, we do window shopping, we see many things, we forget something that we have in our mind. We forget our emotion, or we like to forget. We want to forget them. So this one, we start with mindfulness of breathing, to focus on breathing. That's not the ultimate aim, it's only an instrument. Staying with breathing, focusing on the breath, is only an instrument. An instrument to get to know ourselves. What do we get to know? How the mind usually works. You will see the mind wandering. And when that happens, by the time you realize that your mind is somewhere else, don't be judgmental. Don't say it's bad. Don't say I can't do it. Don't say I can't do it. Just simply, I'm going to repeat a mantra, 3 R. The first R is register. To register that your mind is wandering. To register that. Number 2, to release that object. Say if your mind is back to office, you see your office, release that object. The third R is return to your home, which is breathing. You're going to make breathing your home. You're going to give your mind a home. If the mind is not happy anywhere, meaning the mind is homeless. We know our physical address, where we live, but we don't quite know our psychological venue, where do we live? Sometimes we think we identify our habit and I'm happy with this. But we also complain a lot about our habits. Something that we like, the people we love, we complain a lot. So 3 are register, release, and return. Register, release, and return. Before you have anything to register, you're going to register your breathing. Breathing in, you're going to register that. Conscious register of your breath. Breathing out, conscious register of out breath. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. To make it easier, we can count our breathing. You can count in any language you feel familiar. Okay, you can count it. Breathing in, you can start 1, 2, 3. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3. After 1 or 2 minutes, I want you to increase it up to 4. Then another minute, increase it, maybe up to 5. You can stay up to 5. Maybe you can choose to go up to 6, up to 7. It's up to you. If you think your mind wanders so much, you need more challenges. And then for in-breath, you count 1, 2, 3. For out-breath, 3, 2, 1. Something like that. That's more challenging. You need more attention. This is basically attention training, focus training. Focus training. If we focus, we are going to see things, we're going to perceive things. At that moment, just remember one thing. Don't be judgmental. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. The first that I want to tell you is, okay, choose the best posture you like. Okay. The best is to keep your feet together if you sit on a chair. To keep your feet together. And you're going to see, okay, the usual discomfort, which you don't usually notice. You're going to see it. When you see it, I want you to notice discomfort. This is discomfort. This is discomfort. Focus entirely, okay, on the discomfort. Try to be with the discomfort. Don't try to get rid of that. But of course, there will be a kind of subconscious intention to try to chase the discomfort away. You should observe that as well. You should register that. Intention to chase away. Intention to chase away. Your legs, your hands, okay, within 8 minutes, try not to move. Okay. Take the best position, take the most comfortable posture you like, and then we are going to start. I'm going to time it 8 minutes, exactly 8 minutes. Okay. Is the instruction clear? Anyone has anything to clarify? Okay. Pardon? Yeah, we are going to just lightly close our eye. The reason we close our eye is some Buddhists they don't, and ultimately everybody is supposed to be able to keep their eyes open and meditate. That's how we live in daily life. But too much distraction for a beginner. So it's something like a person living in a huge house with 6 doors. You wouldn't be able to take care of all the doors. So it's better to close as many of them as possible and maybe keep just one open. Then you will see who comes in, who goes out. That's the mind door. So we close our eyes. We are not eating at this moment. We are not even listening to anything. So we are not moving. We are not actively smelling anything. Okay. Okay, we're going to start now. I might be speaking from time to time during the 8 minutes. You gently close your eyes. Make sure you feel comfortable. And then focus on breathing. You may put a little bit more effort into breathing. Take a little bit longer and deeper breath. As you breathe in, count 1, 2, 3 in your mind. For each in-breath and also each out-breath, count 1, 2, 3. Breathing is not unique to meditators. Everybody breathes. The difference is, unless you meditate, you don't notice your breathing. This breathing is actually a respiratory system that everybody has, and it has to work non-stop and perfect. But when we have anxiety, when our mind is stuck in the past, or is anxious about the future, we don't usually notice how well our respiratory system is working. Only when the mind is at the present moment do we notice breathing in and out is working perfect. Is supplying oxygen to the lungs, to the heart, to the circulatory system, veins and and the whole system, and to the brain. In the meantime, if your mind slips away, just notice that using 3R technique. Register if you are thinking. Register as thinking. This is thinking. This is thinking. This is to bring awareness to the subconscious thinking. If you feel discomfort, move your attention to the part of the body where you feel discomfort and accept it. Don't fight with discomfort. Instead, use 3R technique to recognize that discomfort is there. This is how the feeling of discomfort feels like. We are halfway through the 8-minute session. I want you to notice your posture, to check your posture. If you still have the same posture, if your posture has slightly moved, if your posture has moved, maybe slumping a little bit forward, leaning either side, you simply recognize that. Use the 3R technique. Don't try to change it straight away. Instead, recognize that the posture has slightly changed. And try to reflect what has gone on in the mind before the change of the posture. They are related. The posture, the function of the mind, they are closely related. If there isn't any change, simply return to the breath. It's very helpful to check the physical posture so that we can see the function of the mind. In other words, we use the physical body as a springboard to check the mind. You may also increase the number of counting up to the number you feel comfortable. Being non-judgmental is about observing automatic reaction, automatic judgment of like and dislike. If you discover the judging mind, don't judge it. Don't judge the judgmental mind. Simply get to know it. Simply observe it. Oh, this is how a judgmental mind is like. It's very quick. It has opinions on almost everything. And those many unconscious opinions, they become a burden. It's 8 minutes now. You can open your eyes. Okay. If you have any question, this is the time we have a short Q&A regarding this particular session. Okay. Any question? Yes.
The thoughts that come into your mind, are those issues you should try to resolve, like outside of your meditation, or the way forward is to not have thoughts?
No, it's not about not having thought. It's about getting to know your thought. Some of the thought, they need a kind of outside solution. Some of the thought, they need just acknowledgement. Sincere and complete acknowledgement that they are there. Because a lot of thoughts are associated with emotion. Before we see those emotions, those thoughts will keep coming up. Those thoughts, they are just the branches of a trunk in the tree, if you like. They're just the results, not the cause. So meditation is not about working with the results, it's about working with the cause. So when we observe our thoughts, we are actually waiting to see the emotion behind that. If you dislike somebody, a thought of that person, related to that person, will come again and again. In the same way, if you like somebody, then you will think about that person quite often. So like and dislike, you can see the emotion behind it. And we don't need to get rid of those emotions, we just have to see them. So long we are aware of them, we are in control. Are you okay? Yes.
Yes, I was thinking that it was very difficult for me to focus, and even for such a short time, because your voice is very soothing. I've tried meditating at home, and then I was very distracted but present. And I was wondering for beginners, what would you recommend? How long, and when? In the morning or in the evening meditation?
Let me address your question from a different angle. I do not think it's a question of the length of time. In your case, is your attitude towards wandering mind. If you think but there's wandering mind and you can't meditate, if you link those two together, you will always feel disappointed. This is what we call judgmental mind. You are being judgmental towards wandering mind. You should accept wandering mind as a meditation object. So when we use 3R, this is to expand our meditation kind of definition to include everything. Whatever comes up, we use 3R to make it part of our meditation. If your mind is wandering, okay, this is wandering mind, this is wandering mind. At that time, instead of breathing, the wandering mind becomes a meditation object for the focus. Maybe that's better. To be able to stay with breathing throughout is called concentration. To know more than breathing, that is to know breathing, to know wandering mind, to know discomfort, to know our reaction to discomfort, to know our reaction to wandering mind. This is called mindfulness. two types of meditation. In other words, from my point of view, you prefer concentration meditation, but you are more suited to mindfulness meditation. When you sit, tell yourself, I'm going to recognize wandering mind. I'm going to make it part of my observation. Even wandering mind will be my focus when it arises. What we're trying to do is to train the mind to be at the present moment. So when thoughts are occurring, they happen at the present moment. So if you know them, that they are there, your mind, your focus is at the present moment. It just happens that you don't like them. You don't like your thought. So that's what we say, to train the mind to be less judgmental. Actually, if your mind is always on the breath, if meditation is that easy, you don't need meditation anymore. You don't need to meditate anymore. We meditate because we want to know why the mind wanders. And not through thinking exercise, but through observation exercise. Okay? Any more questions? Yes. Yes, yes. I would like to kind of suggest that you don't move. Instead, you look at how your mind is reacting to that. Because it's very easy to wake your leg up, to wake it, okay? To give it just a little massage afterwards is quite easy. When we sleep, our legs, they go numb. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Because at that moment, we are not aware of it. Now that we are aware of it, that is a habitual reaction. That's a habit. So what we are doing is to observe that habit. That's what we call anxiety, the habit of anxiety. Okay, ready for the second one? This time, your leg may go numb even longer. I should warn you. Because I like to increase, okay, up to 15 minutes, almost double. Okay, almost double. And this time, you're going to feel discomfort. It's surprising that we can't take the discomfort that happened within 15 minutes. In the school, at least we go for a 45 minutes lesson. And we are quite used to that. In Europe, many football leagues, and you just sit at least 1.5 hours to watch a football match. And not many countries play cricket. Of course, in England they do. They just sit there the whole day. So expect reaction. Those emotional reactions. Those reactions, they will be similar to the reaction that you have on daily basis. That's a reflection of yourself in daily life. If you are going to feel very grumpy about the pain, that's how you would usually look. If you try to ignore, that would be the habit that you have on a daily basis. If you become quite jumpy, the slightest pain you feel, that would be, the way you act in daily life. So it's a kind of getting to know yourself. How much you enjoy your food, you measure with how you cope with pain. If you cannot tolerate this discomfort, you will get bored with your food very easily. And you have to change the menu every day. The food, the taste of the food will remain the same, but your ability to enjoy it will be greatly reduced. So this time, you're going to measure your mind, or you're going to see yourself through your reaction to the discomfort. Of course, we do the same. We focus on breathing, and we try not to move. It's not that long, only 15 minutes. Only 15 minutes. And we see, okay, in the European Union, if we have patience. Because anywhere you go, you just have to show your passport. Sometimes driving license is enough. They don't even stamp on your passport. Very quick. And in immigration, through the immigration, it's very quick everywhere. But 15 minutes, whether it will look an hour, whether it will look just 5 minutes, is quite individual. Okay. Make yourself comfortable. And then start focusing on your breath. Nice and slow breathing. You may count your breathing if you like. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Or you may count even more than that. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. To a higher number. We can't predict what we call somatic feeling, that is the feeling of the physical body. We can't also predict how the mind will react. So keep the mind open. Just observe what comes up using 3R. Register, release, and return. If there is physical discomfort, acknowledge that using 3R technique. Don't fight with discomfort. Don't fight with pain. If there is impatience, register that impatience. Look at that impatience. And this is impatience. This is impatience. Try to feel impatient mindfully. If there is a desire to move, Observe that desire, register a desire to move, a desire to move. Or if you're worried because you think your leg has gone numb, observe that anxiety. This is anxiety. This is anxiety. If you don't feel, if that anxiety is not obvious, just simply register numbness. This is numbness. This is numbness. We are not trying to get rid of pain. We are trying to actually accept it. Let it be here. The physical pain, usually we have the ability to cope with that. But the reaction to it, that is the psychological pain, is greater, is more difficult to manage. So is this psychological pain that we train in meditation to get to know it, to get to manage it better. And a lot of time, the psychological pain is avoidable. Something we can do without. sometimes we get carried away by habitual thoughts. When you realize that, don't blame yourself. Don't judge that I can't do this, I can't meditate. By the time you realize that you get lost in your thought, you simply recognize that I got lost in my thought for a while. You may not feel very comfortable recognizing this because you think you can do things. Things turn out the way you want them to be. And when you see your own mind contradicting that belief, that subconscious belief, you are taken by surprise. Simply acknowledge that. That's a good meditation. We're not trying to control our thoughts, but simply trying to observe them. Trying to know the mind, what is doing. Any question this time? Any question? Any question? Yes.
Say one should not be judgmental. But if you say this is a thought about anxiety, then it's judgmental.
At this level, we can see it's not. When we get to a more delicate stage of meditation, we can say it is. But at this moment, this is the working stage that we have to have. Using, this is anxiety. And because we use it on daily basis, this is anxiety. The psychologists use it, how to get to know ourselves. When we do a higher level meditation, a thought that is attempting to connect with a phenomenon called anxiety, we observe that action, and the anxiety will stop. We no longer observe anxiety, because observing anxiety is judgment. But at this point, it doesn't work with people who just, begin. So a working definition at this point is that anxiety is not judgment. At some point it will be. What about you?
So I was trying to stop the thoughts, and I got And then I tried to focus on the tummy ache, trying to let it go. And then I felt like I could breathe really deeply. And then I started to think of all the positive things that I saw recently, like the rainbow, green golf, and the good things that happened. And I felt pretty good.
Okay. Thank you. Are you okay this time? Yeah. Maybe you got distracted a little by what happened to Madam.
Yes, I had to stop my urge to go out and check. I knew that there was help outside, but it was difficult to focus on the present.
Yes.
Do you think with longer meditation, you could actually control also your body, your internal organs?
The highest aim of Buddhist meditation is not to control that, but to prevent the mind from inflicting pain on the body. We don't realize how the mind is inflicting burdens, maybe pain, on the body. We don't realize. If we don't meditate longer, and okay, if I ask you not to move, but keep your minds open and keep talking to somebody, you will do that quite easily, because you are distracted, you're focused on something else. But if you have to face this discomfort directly, then that's different. You discover how a restless mind is actually making the discomfort worse. So the highest Buddhist aim is to free the mind from that habit. That's what we call freedom. That's what we call enlightenment. The mind that is able to, that is capable to inflict pain on its own body will be able to inflict pain on anybody else. So non-violence should go up to that level. We have about 25 minutes time. At this time, I suppose this should be the easiest part. You have already started that. I'm going to ask you to think about nice thing in your life that you have done or that you have and you're proud of. Starting from your childhood, your school days, your university days, your working life. Just think about prominent moments, visible moments, noticeable moments that you still remember, that you think you have enjoyed very much. Just think about that. That's number one, stage one. Stage two, I want you to think about interdependence. How you have been able to do that. Other people are involved in that. Maybe your parents, your schools, your universities, your teachers, your colleagues, your classmates, even taxpayers, the previous generation, the current one, a lot of them. But we can't think about all of them. You're going to choose the people you feel close to, the people you think have been important in your life. If you look at this way, you understand that we don't exist as a single individual. We exist in relation to many other people. And other people's happiness and pain are related to us. We have to be interested in their pain and joy. So first is yourself. The second is the people related to you. This, it should be a good topic for the EU because you are so related in many countries, and ups and downs, the destinies have been closely related on the whole continent. Okay, we can start. We have we're going to do about maybe 15 minutes to leave some time for questions. Just settle your mind with your breathing, maybe for about a minute. And then start thinking about your effort, the effort you put in. Try to appreciate them. Those efforts you started putting in since your childhood up to now, they are what make you today, what made you who you are. So remember your hard work, your achievement, your participation in society, in the family. The reason we have to do this is because our negativity biased mind is so strong. We remember negative experiences more than the positive ones. We do have a lot of positive things in our life. And we do have many good people in our life. We hardly meet a nasty person. We meet good people on a daily basis. But good people, their actions, their kindness, their behavior are not usually registered on our mind. Only if there is somebody who looks odd, whose behavior is unfamiliar, not something we expect, then that person will get registered in our conscious, both conscious and subconscious mind. So the 80-20 theory can be used to explain it here. 80% of our life is positive, good, enjoyable. 20% needs fixing. But we pay 80% of attention using the 80% of energy to stay with the 20% negative experience. magnifying a negative experience 4 times. With the positive 80% experience, we only pay attention to that for 20% of our time. So over time, as we come to think that good things in our life counts only for 20%. And a lot of our experiences are unsatisfactory. And we keep looking for satisfaction, for happiness. We did that when we were 10. Again, we did that when we were 20. We still did that at 30, at 40. We keep looking for something satisfactory. So simply trying to recollect your best efforts in your life, maybe in the school, maybe in the primary school, in the secondary school, the university, maybe in the working life, and simply appreciate your own effort. Don't feel bad doing this. Appreciating yourself, because unless you know how to appreciate your own effort, you wouldn't see a lot of value in other people's effort. We expect people to be good, to work hard. But when they are good and they work hard, our mind feels reluctant to recognize them. Sometimes we just don't notice. If your mind slips away to other things, just bring it back to the main task. This is appreciation exercise. sometimes we try to be happy by acquiring new things. Actually, when we get something new, we feel excited. That excitement is not exactly happiness. Happiness and excitement are two different things. Excitement is related to something new, but nothing can remain new forever. So the magic will go away, will disappear. And we have to keep looking for it again. This focus on something positive in mind will strengthen the hippocampus part of our brain. The executive brain is in the hippocampus. We build on something positive, something new. This is called new psychology. The old psychology is about addressing weaknesses, removing the shortcomings. The new psychology is about increasing the positive capacities. By doing so, the shortcomings will become less and less. The energy is devoted more to the positive ones. Now think about other people in your life who play a part in your success, starting with your parents, the teachers in the school, the authors of the books that you have read, other people depend on you. You also depend on them. This is particularly true for the European Union. Taxes from all the members come together. They are powerful. Everybody depends on everybody else. In that sense, the more successful people there are, the better. Okay, now the last session. We have about 5 minutes. Q&A.
If, for example, in an office, there was 15 minutes of mindfulness meditation every week for everyone in the office, what changes would you see in that office? What do you think that would change in the office?
You mean the changes?
Yeah, like among the people. Like if everyone had, if we all did together mindfulness meditation every week, what would you see as changes in the office?
In intrapersonal relationship will be enhanced. The meeting will be shorter and more effective. Because mindfulness includes mindful listening. I would be listening to you, not because I want to respond, but because I want to appreciate what you have to offer, according to this last meditation time. So, in Spain, just outside Madrid, a mother that she's so worried about her son, and she asked me to advise her. What should I advise? I have never seen your son. I asked her, have you ever received a letter from the principal of the school? No. Has he ever been to the priest? No. Has he ever had any disciplinary problem in the school? No. So what's the problem? She said, he doesn't study, or he doesn't work hard in the subject that he's not interested. Wow, that's the same as me. No. See, your son has this positive thing. And she said, she has never thought like that. And so I gave her quattro minute of meditation, 4 minutes meditation. The first minute, when you wake up, just think about what you did your best yesterday, last week, last month, or maybe some time ago. You switch on the hippocampus brain, the appreciative brain, before you get up. Some people, they switch on the anxiety brain. That's one thing. The second one, before you go to work, think about how important this work is. You know, your own contribution, or maybe somebody else's contribution, or the collective work. Try to appreciate that. The third minute, okay, once the work is done for the day, before you leave the office, just try to take the positive things home. Today, I have done my best for this. Okay, the last one, before you go to bed. These are strategic moments in your daily life that you should make sure, okay, are dominated by positive emotion, positive outlook. Anxiety is usually accompanied by habitual thinking, subconscious thinking. But the 4 minutes, we make sure that they are conscious thought. Any more questions? Yes.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed today. Do you have recommendations or articles in English?
A lot. Okay, I will send to your ambassador, and he will forward them to you. If you can do the last one, that will cover the first and the second. But you will have to expand it to include the people you don't know, trying to find their appreciation, their contribution, their positive qualities. And the people you know but are quite different from yours in terms of value, in terms of like and dislike, that they're trying to find something to appreciate them. Along the way, you will see a lot of reaction. Why should I do this? Why should I do this? And you will have to have that internal dialogue. It's all about the judgment of them and us. But when we can really appreciate our own effort, now we can see the little effort, I say the little effort that anybody puts in. Are you okay? Are you okay? Any question?
I'm trying to think what to apply this to my little boys.
Yes. You have to find something to appreciate. Before you tell him to do something, just appreciate what he has done. Something. If he feels appreciated, it's a lot easier for you to develop a good relation. How old is he?
5 and 7.
Okay. This is a lot easier. Not easier. Their hormone at this time means it's a lot easier. If they are 12, 13, like that, then it will be different. You can reassure them. That's one thing. The other thing is trying to appreciate their work. If they come back home, what they did in the school, that's very important for them. They spend the whole day doing that. If you just, what did you do today? This one. And you switch off. That means they don't feel appreciated. One of my younger sisters, whenever she collected her son from school, she said, what you learned today, I may have never learned in my life. I would appreciate learning from you. So the son started telling her all the way in the car until home. And at home, she would pay him. Okay, I'm going to put it in your bank account this much today for teaching me this. And she has a very good relationship with him. Sometimes we are anxious, we want to correct, we want to address a certain shortcoming that makes the person more defensive because you activate their amygdala brain. Their survival instinct.